a lot of couples are facing financial storm. Even as we speak right now, the situation in the country and, all that, there is a lot of financial challenges going on. And, this is one thing that can really affect a marriage. It can really affect a couple because there is so much to do with finance. There's so many bills to pay. Bills are getting high every day. Commodities are getting higher every day. But you need to pay for all these things. And for some, they don't have the money. For some, maybe there's been a loss of job. There has been a business that have gone wrong. So many people have invested in the wrong business. So many, there's a lot happening today when it comes to finance, and this is leading or causing a lot of divorce and separation in marriages. So want to hear, and that's why we decided to talk about it today. So you can also feel free to call us. Let's know some of the steps you've taken that has helped you as a couple, to navigate some of these challenges that we are talking about, some of these things that people are facing on a daily basis. For some, they are able to move on. For others, they are not able. Some are stuck. Some are just regretting. Some are crying every day. Some are fighting every day as a result of money challenge. So, share with us some tips that can help someone. You never can tell what you will say that will be like, oh, we never saw it in this light for some couples. So don't hold back, share. The number to call us on is 091 6893 6318.
All right, and in case you're just joining us, before we went on the break, we shared 3 points. The first is the need to be open, to communicate openly about money. The second is the need to have shared budget. And the third is the need to have financial goals. The need to have financial goals. So we'll be going ahead with other points, but we'll be glad to receive. Points from you. What's your take? When you hear the topic, uh, financial challenges in marriage. What do you think about it, and what counsel do you have to give? And have you had an experience, going through financial storm in marriage, and how did you survive? How did you scale through? All right, let's proceed with the other points.
All right, the next point talks about understanding each other's financial background. Understanding each other's financial background. As people who get married, you came from different background. You came from different walks of life, different culture, different country, different race. Today there is a lot of differences when it comes to marriage. So there are people who get married to people who do not have the same financial background, financial belief, financial understanding with them. So you want to really understand what's the financial background of your spouse before you even get married or while you're in the marriage. Get to understand, get to know why they behave the way they behave, because people come, we are different. We can't see everything in the same light all the time. So sometimes one person's financial belief can be totally different from another person. Maybe you have a wife who believes that if you have money, spend it, enjoy life, eat, enjoy, don't keep money. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. Some people have that kind of mentality, and then someone else will have the mentality that when you have money, don't spend it, save it, keep it, don't even touch it. But then maybe they are suffering, they are going through a need right now, but they just want to save. So it just depends on the belief, on what did they grow up to believe when it comes to finance. So there is need for you to understand that and to be able to work with the other person such that you come to a place where you both cultivate or grow a certain financial culture that blends the two of you. It brings whatever the other person had and what you have, and then just bring it to form a culture that you both have built, and it can be, unique to both of you, and you can be able to operate financially without looking down on the other person's belief or way of life or understanding. You are both grown and understood that, okay, this is what works for us. So there is need for you to get to that point in marriage.
Yeah, I want to add to say that the financial experience also matter. You could have someone while growing up grew up in an affluent uh, situation or family,
Mm-hmm.
and the person never lacked anything.
Mm-hmm.
The way the person would relate with money is different from
Yeah.
someone who struggled, who knew
Yeah. Who
what
was
it
always
meant
in
to go
need?
to school without school fees,
Hmm.
being driven away from school from time to time because daddy and mommy couldn't pay
Afford.
the school fees on time, and someone who had to do manual work, manual labor, in order to raise money to support his parents. So those two individuals have different backgrounds, and the
Yeah.
way they are going to relate with money will be different. And you
Mm-hmm.
must learn to understand where your spouse is coming from, and that will help you understand why your spouse behave
Behaves.
the way
Yeah.
they do. Help you understand the financial behavior of your
Mm-hmm.
spouse
Mm-hmm.
better. All right. So the next point, let me just call out the phone number once again
Okay.
before going to the next point. You can join the conversation by calling this phone number 091 I'll take the number again, the studio line 091 All right, we proceed to the next point, which has to do with sharing of responsibilities. Gone are the days when it is believed that it's only the man that will take the whole responsibility. Even though I of the opinion that the man should still take his responsibility at home, I also believe that women can be supportive and need
Mm-hmm.
to be supportive. So I don't believe in ladies who just sit out there and do nothing and just expect the man to pay the entire bill. I want you to be empowered such that if the need comes, you can be a shock absorber. And
Mm-hmm.
even if your husband is bringing all the money, you can decide to take certain responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Little things that you won't need to disturb him about. And if you are the type that you are like on equal financial ground, maybe having the same range of financial income, you can know how to share the responsibility. Okay, I will take care of the food stuff. You will take care of the electricity bill. We'll share the children's school fees 50-50, or you will take care of children's school fees. I'll take care of the money we send to our parents. Depending on what your responsibilities are, you can decide to share responsibility, and so that the burden is not so much on one person. That is going to help. And I want to really speak to young ladies out there who are yet to get married. Today you see on social media ladies just showing off their bodies, thinking that's the only qualification a man needs to get from them to get married. I would also want to advise that it's good to be good looking, but it's also good to earn good money. So think of sources of income or ways you can earn income, apart from waiting for employment. You can also be an employer of labor. You can get into business so that you are that virtuous woman, who does not need to wait for her husband, to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
And in as much as I'm encouraging our ladies out there to grow to be virtuous women, I also want to encourage our men to be valiant men,
Mm-hmm.
be the man in the house. I was watching a podcast by Center Stage, and a guest was actually talking about one thing she likes about Nigerian men, the fact that they know that they are the men, and want to take charge of financial responsibilities, take care of things, as the man of the house. And I encourage that, yeah, be the man of the house, don't be laid back. But in case you're going through some situation, that brings us to point number one we shared earlier on. If you are going through some storm, let your wife know that, babe, I'm going through some storm now. I need some help. I may not be able to do what I was doing before, but I believe we will overcome. You need to be open and don't run into debt trying to just put in front. Be open, be real, and you never can tell how much help that wife of yours would give to you once you are open to her and you share responsibilities together. And remember that the storms of life would never last forever.
Mm.
So this is just a passing phase in life. It won't be forever. Be supportive to one another. The man, be supportive to your woman. I'm someone who advocates that you need to empower your wife. I
Yeah.
don't believe that once you get married, your wife should just remain at home and not engage in any financial activity. Your wife can work from home. Today there are remote jobs.
Oh, a lot.
Be supportive to your wife. Help your wife to be strong financially.
Mhm.
She's not going to undermine your place as a man. You
It's
know,
an added advantage to
yes,
the man,
yeah,
anyway.
you never can tell what happens.
Hmm.
I know of men who are afraid of their wife working,
Being empowered.
yeah, being employed. Some are even afraid of their wife any more than them.
Mm.
And I have worked in sectors where you have more women in certain teams than men, and
Mhm.
they receive more money, maybe than their husbands. But that does not mean that they will not be submissive, which is the fear
Mhm.
many people have. But they can help out,
Yeah.
and just know that whatever comes into the home from whichever source is the family finance,
Hmm.
and work together and learn to make the best use of whatever God has provided through whichever one of the
Means.
couple, yeah,
Yeah.
whether through the man or
Hmm.
through the woman. Share responsibility. Don't leave the load for one person. Don't leave the
Hmm.
load for the woman alone.
Hmm.
Don't leave the load for the man alone. Walk together through the storm, and you're surely going to fly high at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right. So we'll begin to wrap up right now.
Yeah.
All right. So work together. Always know that things can happen.